Alright, let's talk about the Porter Airlines flight that got cancelled because a kid refused to sit down and buckle up. Wait, before you roll your eyes thinking, oh, another entitled parent story, let me ask you this. When does airline safety become a rigid rulebook that leaves no room for human chaos? Because here's the thing, this isn't just about a kid throwing a tantrum. It's about how systems designed for control collide with the unpredictable mess of real life. And honestly, that collision is fascinating. So, the basics. A child wouldn't sit, parents and crew tried everything, the plane turned back, and 100+ passengers were stranded overnight. Porter Airlines issued an apology. But here's what stuck with me, why do we default to blaming the parents? I mean, kids have meltdowns. It's literally in their job description. Yet airlines operate under these ironclad safety rules that don't account for the biological reality of toddlers. Is this a parenting failure, or a systemic one? In my opinion, the bigger issue is how rigid policies ignore the complexity of human behavior. Let's unpack the safety argument. Airlines drill us on seatbelts and brace positions, all to mitigate risks. But here's the irony, a 3-year-old wriggling out of a seat isn't a risk to the plane's structural integrity. It's a risk to, what, exactly? The kid's own safety? Maybe. But the crew's hands are tied, they're trained to follow protocols, not improvise parenting hacks. What many people don't realize is that these policies aren't about logic, they're about liability. If they let one kid off the hook, where do they draw the line? But isn't that a cop-out? Shouldn't there be room for discretion in edge cases? Now, the parenting angle. Let's say you're that parent. Your child is having a meltdown in a confined space with 100 strangers judging you. What's the right move? Force the kid into a seat like a wrestling match? Distract them with snacks? I've seen parents in similar situations try everything from bribery to whispering calming phrases. But planes are stressful for adults. Imagine being a kid with zero impulse control. From my perspective, this highlights a cruel double standard. We demand parents police their kids' behavior perfectly, yet we design systems that make it impossible to do so. Airports and airlines offer zero support, then punish families when the chaos we all expect happens. And what about the ripple effect? That flight's delay wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a logistical domino. Crews have duty time limits. Planes can't sit on runways past midnight due to noise regulations. So one family's struggle caused a cascading failure. But here's a detail I find fascinating. Airlines lose millions annually to delays caused by passenger disruptions. Yet they still treat kids like tiny ticking time bombs. Why? Because the alternative, rewriting safety manuals to include child behavior contingency plans, feels absurd. But isn't the status quo equally absurd? Let's zoom out. This incident reflects a broader cultural tension, our obsession with efficiency clashing with empathy. We want flights to run like clockwork, but life isn't a spreadsheet. Kids cry. Elderly passengers move slowly. People panic. And yet, systems get stricter instead of smarter. What this really suggests is that we're outsourcing our humanity to policies because it's easier than adapting. And honestly, that scares me more than a kid roaming the aisle. So here's my closing thought, maybe the real problem isn't the child or the parents. Maybe it's a world that's forgotten how to bend without breaking. What do you think? Would you side with the airline's strict rules, or argue for more compassion? Drop your take in the comments, let's debate this.